What's going on, everybody? This is G The Hypersapien, and in this video we're going to take a look at Warhammer Underworlds Beastgrave, Morgok's Krushas. So on the side we've got build your warband, easy to build, construct your deck, defeat your rivals, game expansion, a copy of Warhammer Underworlds core set is required to play. Morgok's Krushas. Morgok's Krushas come to Beastgrave looking for the fight of their lives, like most Orc. Includes 3 easy to build Citadel miniatures. So this is miniature shown at actual size. Upgrade Warhammer Underworlds with Morgok's Krushas expansion containing the Morgok's Krushas warband and 59 unique cards to enhance your fighters. This pack provides new tactics and challenges for Warhammer Underworlds Beastgrave. Contents: you get the 3 fighters, 3 fighter cards, you get 32 Morgok's Krushas and 27 universal upgrade power and objective cards. But we'll bust this open and we'll have a look. Awesome little trays that the Underworld gives you. Nice and snug, all this stuff in here. So you get 2 sprues, an assembly guide, and then you get your universal and your Morgok's Krushas cards. First we'll look at the assembly guide for Morgok's Krushas. Before assembling your miniatures, please read through the instructions in this booklet carefully and retain them for future reference. Carefully remove the models from the frame, asking an adult for assistance, and push the models together as shown. So it says no glue required. I'd still recommend using glue. That's up to you though, what you decide to do. I just find with these push fit, they could come apart somehow. And I'd prefer to use glue just so I know that they're snugly glued together. Step 1 and 2, you put this little piece into his chest. Just kind of just slide it back there. I love the pose on this guy. But that hole on the third part, you can see that it goes over there. Then you have a peg here. Step 4. Step 5. The only part I wouldn't glue is him into the base here, just so you can get to the scenic base that I'll show you in a bit. So personally I'd glue all of him together, but not slide him into his little feet here. And we got the other fella, 7 and 8, 9, 10, then we got his 11 and 12, these big choppers, these big club-like weapons. And yet again, I'll just not glue him into the base here. It just makes it easy. You can paint and play around with this base before you put him on. That's just a personal preference though. I love this. He has this bird's skull that goes over his face as a helmet. It just looks nuts. This huge weapon. That is ridiculous. It looks like 2 choppers, or he has this chopper, giant big chopper, and then he's got this other part. It's like a battering ram. It's nuts. Crazy Orc. They had so much detail to the Orc's face and they just cover it. I mean, I'm not complaining, but it's just funny. But that looks like something from Dark Crystal. And then you got the warband. I love them all, I have to say. I love him, his pose. He's kind of got this weapon back like some Jedi or Sith have with their lightsabers. It's kind of that technique where you fight and hold the blade behind you, but then he's got this one going forward like he's pointing or intimidating or that sort of thing. If you look closely as well, you can see he's got this bunch of skulls. It looks like different levels of decay. One looks like it's a bit more fleshy, and I love how this is like a jaw piece from a beast of some kind, like a jaw, like a skull, or a skeleton jaw I should say. Love his top knot. I'm a fan of top knots. I do find the iron jaws a bit strange how their top knots aren't on their head. They stick them to their backs. They're hunched over kind of like a gorilla, and they have the top knot in their armour. The Gore Grunters come to mind from Age of Sigmar. Gore Grunters, they have the exact same look and have that top knot like that. And I love this. He's got the weapons. I love his pose, and kind of looks like he's not really running. He looks like he's more just strolling, striding forward at a reasonable pace, but just doesn't care really. He just wants to get to battle, but he doesn't want it over too fast. This dude as well is just nuts. I don't know if I quite like that extra part. I'm not sure if I'll cut that off. The second one, it seems a bit overkill. Let me know in the comment section if you would do the same as me. Like, it's a cool idea, kind of like a nunchuck, but also it just looks a bit awkward. Like, it looks like he might, you know, hit himself more than he might hurt someone else. We'll see though. I love his skull. Now we'll look at Morgok's deck. So we have Ard's skull. He's the one with the bird-like skull on him, and there's his little nunchucky big chopper weapon. Just having a quick read if there was mention anything about his weapon, but no. We have Morgok himself, absolutely beast. Love the art, love the miniature. Then we have Thug. He looks pleased or quite happy chap in his art, doesn't he? Now we'll just flip through this. Can't wait to build and paint these though. Love these models. That's actually the dude that I did paint once. I believe it looks like the Nurgle guy that I painted. Kind of like how their armour, I know it's more the light reflecting, I kind of like how they've done it more orangey yellow. Possibly might do that. I'm not the biggest fan of yellow for orcs. Love that. Power of the Wah. Wah energy. Love that. These look like they'd be really fun to play. I guess I'm a bit biased when it comes to Auric. That's great. See, I'm not quite sure what that is. An almost vulture looking skull. Can't work out what it would be in Warhammer. Wah, Edbutt. And that is a great image. And I love when the Wah energy goes through them. Good day's work. See, the weapon just looks so awkward. Like, he wants to do one thing with it and is flipping around doing probably not what he quite wants. Strange. Interesting but strange. It works there. Just dangling. Whoever designed that probably overthinking a little bit too much. Then we have our universal deck. Kind of just looking at the art, sorry about that. If you want to read them, I can go over them or show these more if you need. Just unfortunately I don't play, I just have got them to review, unbox, to build and paint, and just to share, and just hoping if anyone wants to look into the kit, it will help them out, see what the kit's like before they buy it, a bit more detail and close-up of the kit. And one day I hope to play and possibly either do battle reports or just let you know how I like the game. I know I do really like these warbands though, and they're not that expensive. I mean, you don't get that many models, you get all these cards though. But if you don't have that much money, like if your kids want to get into it, might be an idea. You can buy them these warbands every now and again. You need to buy the actual box set. You get, I think, you get two warbands and obviously the rules. But then it's just a bit cheaper if you want to buy them these for Christmas or a gift every now and again. They're not that expensive for a whole warband. There, that's the universal cards. Now for the part we've all been waiting for. At least I have. So Morgok's got these faces or heads, skulls attached to him. See, one looks like it's almost decayed into a skull. This looks like it's a bit more of a fresh kill. Just going to be enjoyable to paint them. That one you could do a little bit more with green tones and whatnot, a bit more like it's decayed, and this one a bit more fresh. So these are the new face that the orcs, they've came a long way. They've had a lot of different looks through Games Workshop's timeline. Not sure what orcs or orc or orc I like the most really. I do really have a love for these. They have like a real pig look to them, pigmen. This metal jaw, basically, iron jaws, I guess as they're called. Looks really nice though, it's like a big metal jaw. You've got some chainmail. Looks really nice, chunky and stubby, and he doesn't look too happy, does he? He must be the moody git that we saw in the cards. Morgok himself. Absolutely one of the best iron jaw poses I've seen. I've got the brutes, which are quite similar to these, but he's probably my favourite pose wise and just how he looks. You can see how the top knot's attached to the armour, sort of with studs and bolted in place. And he got his other arm or hand, weapon hand. Got the iron jaw again. Sort of looks like he's marching, hey? Looks like he's riding something, but just the way he is. He was the one, I guess, that looked like it was kind of running in a way or striding forward. Pretty sure that's the one, yeah, because it's got two pegs on the side where the bird skull goes over. It's quite funny or typical because quite like that face. Looks like this side has been sort of melted or has that exposed eye. Yeah, that's a really nice sprue. Yeah, the more the more I look at it and just don't really like this bit. It will come in handy for a conversion, but don't really like the idea of this attached to this sub part. Let me know in the comments what you would do. I just think it looks a bit silly, really. The more I look at it. This is Morgok's hand where he's holding it like he's just ready to flip it up and grab it again and stab someone. And some martial arts stuff. There's him when he's striding or strolling forward. So there's the two sides of the jaw that have that bird skull on it. It's got a bird skull, but they've sort of nailed all these metal bits onto it. Cool idea though. And then we got the awesome scenic bases. And it looks like bits of armour that have come off. Lots of little bits, like it's got these bolts, bits of chain and bits of armour. Is that a mushroom as well? I love my little mushrooms in Warhammer. To be honest, orcs and goblins, I wish that they'd cover their bases in mushrooms, really. Or at least I'd wish that Citadel or Games Workshop sold a bunch of mushrooms that you could decorate them with. That'd be great. So yeah, the bottom of the jaw of the skeleton, the skull here, looks like the bottom jaw. Looks like some orc teeth or something. An orc skull, nice. I'm trying to work out this, it almost looks like gold, but I guess it's just like texture. Like bits of stone or something. It just has like a gem-like feel to it, or a crystal. Just trying to work out. Might do the base, maybe make it gold, even though it's not quite coins. Almost looks like crystals or something, like they're in a crystal cave. Dark crystal. Yeah, these are really nice bases. Looks like an orc tooth or something there again. You got this big auric foot. It's like Bigfoot's. They're like Bigfoot or a Yeti or something, aren't they? Another great sprue. So yet again, this is a great kit. Absolutely love it. Love these aurics. That's Morgok's Krushas. I hope you like this unboxing and review. As always, I appreciate you watching. This was G The Hypersapien, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.